when is one a conscious co-worker, by which he means a conscious co-worker of the divine plan. When somebody works with the divine plan, that means work with the divine will, then he is a conscious co-worker with the divine plan. What is the divine plan? We sometimes call it God's will. People notice that there are two types of wills in this world. One is our mind's will, and then there is the ultimate will of the Creator or God's will. People who follow the mind's will, we call them the followers of the mind or manmukh. And those who follow the Guru's will or God's will, we call them gurmukh. So these words have been frequently used to say from a manmukh, we should become a gurmukh. Instead of following the mind's will, we should follow the divine will, God's will. People say, is not everything that is happening God's will? Yes, overall, in the total plan, everything is God's will. Nothing is happening without His will. But within the plan that is running this universe, within these delegated activities of consciousness through the mind, we are divided up deliberately into two wills. What the mind thinks and decides is mind's will. What mind does not think and we still decide is God's will. It's not a big distinction. Jalaluddin Rumi was asked this question. He said, people say we don't know which is God's will. And he answers, that's very simple. If a God has given you a spade in his hand, he has expressed his will, dig. If he has put a pencil in your hand, he has expressed his will, write. What more do you want? God creates circumstances around you in which what you're supposed to do is depending up exactly on the circumstances. If you follow that, you're living in God's will. But when you try to defy that and say, no, my mind thinks differently, it becomes mind's will. When we say go with the flow, that is also going with God's will, because you're not interfering with the flow with your own mental thinking. All the time, throughout our life, we have circumstances around us indicating what our duty is. In Hinduism, they distinguish between karma and dharma. They say karma is what has caused a certain incident to happen here, caused a certain event to happen in your life, and dharma is your duty, how to respond to that. And dharma is supposed to be living in God's will. That if you just respond to all the events that take place in your life by the circumstances and clues that they are indicating to you, you're living in God's will. I once used the word clue, and somebody, a friend of mine, loved this word. He said, I am always looking for clues. I said, so long as you're looking for clues in the circumstances and coincidence, fine, but don't start looking clues in your thoughts. That will not be the clue to God's will. So, to live in God's will, you are a co-worker, conscious co-worker in the divine plan.